Hello, it's Curt here with Weekley Electric, coming to you with the a orientation on a 24 kW Generac automatic generator system connected to a whole house 200 amp automatic transfer switch. And we're going to talk a little bit about installation and then a little bit about orientation on some key components that a homeowner would need to know if they're wanting to reset a controller, check oil, and so forth. So once again, 24 kW produces 100 amps on propane and is D-rated then for natural gas. This unit is able to be installed within 18 inches of the home. That's a Generac installation guideline that falls within their clearance. It has to be 5 foot from a window, door, or any type of opening, and 10 foot from any type of makeup air. Generac does not require a concrete pad. However, we found that works best, and so all of our installations have a gravel base and a concrete pad. This is a baked on paint aluminum enclosure and weather resistant. So this unit has a hourglass type of light cluster over here on this one end that can tell you at a glance the condition of this unit. So the green light means ready to go. There's also an amber light, which would mean that there's a warning of some sort. That doesn't shut the generator down, and it doesn't keep it from operating in the event that the power would fail. There is also a red light in the same cluster, and that red light would indicate an immediate problem, an alarm of some sort that's allows the unit to shut off and would prevent it from working in the event the power failed. So let's talk real briefly about what would cause those type of alerts or alarms. Any type of maintenance reset is going to hit your yellow alarm, or your amber light, I should say. Any type of, like say, service due, whether it be engine oil due to be changed based upon hours or calendar time, whether or not it's been time for the spark plugs, if it falls within the Schedule B or Schedule A maintenance, whichever is set up on the unit, then all those would click a amber alert that would shoot out an amber light on this one side. And once again, nothing's going to shut the unit down. It's just something to be aware of. Make sure we don't leave it out here and not maintenance the unit. The red, however, the red light is going to shut the unit down, and some things that will cause that red light is if it happened to run low on oil, it could shut down on low oil. Yes, high temperature is another shutdown. There's also some emergency shutdowns in the event that there's something going on catastrophic that would result in needing to shut the generator down, fire department, whatever the case may be. There's one on the back of the unit. If I push it, it'll shut this. We'll show a red light here, and also in the controller will say that it's stopped with the error code that the emergency shutdown has been activated. I've already unlocked the unit, and so we'll lift up the lid here. So there's right here there's an interface for the customer. This is the computer. This is where you would do any types of manual any types of resets, any types of manual running. This is where you would determine any type of fault. If the generator's in fault, you can view the fault, reset the unit. Provided you've cleared the unit, it would reset, and then you'd be ready to run in the event the power failed. So this unit's ready to run. If I want to start the unit manually, because there is no faults, I can just press the manual button right here. It's a blue button, and I can push that, and it would fire up and run. And I'll just give a little play on that. So the generator started up, ran, and then I just pressed the off button to shut it down. And then if I wanted to run then during an outage for any automatic function, I would push automatic right there, auto. Now it's ready to run in the event the power fails. In here's where you'll find how to set the time, how to set the exercise, how to program the generator. During a outage, if you're wanting to check the oil during an outage, there is a systematic way that you have to shut the unit down so that you can disconnect from the house and let it basically let the oil get to the bottom of the engine, so you know that you're checking it accurately. And the way that you do that, while the unit's running in an outage, you would come over here and you would shut off the 100 amp breaker, and that disconnects you from the house and allows the power then just to be residing here at the generator. And then you would press off, then that would shut the unit down. It would come to a rest state, and then you would let it set for a couple minutes, let the oil drain in the bottom of the engine, check the oil. In the event it's low, you're going to add whatever amount is necessary to get it up to full, and then check it again when you're done. Replace all dipstick, caps, and so forth, and then you want to go over that process in reverse to re-engage to the house. You want to press back to auto, let the unit come up and start. It takes 10-15 seconds. Once it starts, it gets up to running RPMs. Push that breaker forward. Now you're reconnected to the house, and you can run for the length of the outage, provided that it's within the next time you have to check the oil again. So you should do that every other day of continuous operation. So if it's if you checked it today, for instance, you could go until Saturday, till the day after tomorrow, basically, and then check it again, provided your power is still out. You'll also see something that really we need to talk about on this. On the controller, it will say hours of protection, and this is Generac's way of telling you that it's been connected to the house from the day it's been installed. It's been protecting the home for that many hours. So it's nothing to get alarmed about, thinking that you have some sort of that it's been running in the middle of the night or when you're gone at work or something. That's basically saying it's been connected to the home for this length of time, and that's all that's going on there. So that's pretty much all we wanted to show you here. The whole house application is going to come on. It's going to run the entire house, and it's going to provide power as long as the outage continues and maintenance is kept up on it. The unit's permanently fastened to the gas line, and that's how it's running. And so we need to make sure that none of the valves or anything gets shut off during mowing or weed eating. So that's the 24 kW automatic generator system. So we're going to walk you through some things about the automatic transfer switches. This is a Generac 200 amp service rated automatic transfer switch connected to the 24 kW Generac automatic generator system. If you do not know what kind of transfer switch you have, you really need to find out before you go any further. This one's interfaced with the customer's overhead meter base and directly in line, and so it should be a service rated transfer switch with a disconnect in it, and it is, and it does say that here. However, when we open this up, there's a dead front in there with a serviceable breaker, and that breaker is really what we want to talk about today. And you may not have that if your application is different, and so I advise you to find that out before you take this front cover off. You'll see this here. This placard here tells the location of the generator, and that's a code compliant thing, so that the fire department can find out where the generator's at and what it's running on, what its fuel source is. So this cover just lifts off of here, and underneath here you'll see that this says 200A. That's their 200 amp automatic transfer switch breaker. That breaker there is in the on position. If it was off, it would trigger the generator to fire and run, thinking that the power was out, which basically we'd be tricking it into that condition. If this is tripped, you may encounter the generator running. You have utility power. This meter here has numbers on it, that tells me that it has power. And if this was in a tripped or off fashion, the generator is going to run. You can take that cover off and reset that, and the generator should shut down, provided you have adequate power from the power company. The generator logic is set up at a 50%. Basically, if you have 50% power or above, it should go to utility state. If it's below 50%, then it's going to go to generator operation. In here, you'll see this placard right here. It indicates a operation that you can do. It's a manual operation that you can do in the event that the unit did not run and perform its automatic function properly. Provided the generator works adequately, you can start it up, and that's what you would do in the manual mode. Make sure the breaker's on the generator, and then you would come here, and inside this little window here, there's a yellow square with a hole in it, a little 1/4-inch hole in it, and that lever you would pull down and put it in the standby function that's stated right here, and it walks you through ABC on that, instructions on how to do that. If you did not have this dead front, I advise you not to go any further and put the cover back on. Call a professional. There's different types of service rated switches. There's 100 amp, 150 amp. There's 300 amp, 400 amp based upon your service size. And then there's non-service where there wouldn't be a breaker. Then there's also select circuit, which we'll get into later, which has breakers in it, and it's only for select items. But this is the service rated 200 amp model.